this, but I've been drinking these longer than White Claws. I've talked a lot of shit about them, but damn, they kind of are nice. By the time I drink 15 beers, I'm so burpy and farty, I might need a spit up. Not a full puke, but a little I drink liquor the same way I drink beer, and that's fast. And the only nerd around here having fun is me and maybe a cop that gets a chance to kick my ass. He's got his taser out as soon as he shows up. Can't say I blame him. All he's heard is that there's a belligerent drunk 6'2" Sasquatch running around, and he is unpredictable at best. There ain't no brakes on this train. Them old claws, yeah, they taste about like you're making out with a cat that has a piece of fruit in its mouth. But I can put 12 of them down in a pretty reasonable amount of time. Take me a good piss, and it's on to the next case. Biggest problem I see with them, though, is the price point. It's a little ridiculous to price a product that high in such economic times. It's arguably the hardest it has ever been out here for a pimp. Now, one damn case of claws costs you about $20. There ain't no way there's $20 worth of shit in that box.
Welcome back, everybody. It's a new week, and this is the new video format. As a reminder, on the last Sunday of every month, we will no longer be going over weekly updates unless something critical happens. This is now a section that we call Letters to the Great Ape. I am the Great Ape. My name is Ramen Wukong. At the end of this broadcast, we will be announcing this month's 5 million Bitoreum Get Down promotion winners. More on that later. So what we're going to do now is, for this week, I won't be able to actually look at Discord, so if you have any questions and concerns, you're going to have to use the YouTube platform to ask any questions. This isn't so much a live question and answer format kind of thing. This is more of a you did shit, I want a bitch, and write in kind of thing. So that's what we're going to do. So let's jump into it. This question, and by the way, all questions, concerns, and comments are reported anonymously. You probably will know who you are when the question's read, but unless it expressly says, yeah, go ahead, you can share my information, I don't. Anonymity, people, it's what we strive for. Why did you fork the coin? You broke this shit. The fuck is wrong with you? I'm going back to the other chain because I can still trade with it on Trade Ogre. So let me get to the heart of that matter. That aged like fine milk, didn't it? Trade Ogre went the way of the dodo. Why did I fork the coin? That wasn't actually intentional. I never did anticipate a traditional need for a hard fork. I thought it was going to be possible to soft fork in changes, and if the code had been properly formatted, I might have had a better shot at it, but we'll never know. Obviously, a hard fork was created, and here we are. We are on the new chain. The old chain, for all practical purposes, doesn't even exist anymore. Sorry about that. I don't know what that was about. Looks like we had a stream disconnect. Anyway, I will have an update next week about a new service for hosting if you can't get your own VPS for whatever. More on that later. But in short, why did we fork the coin? Or why did I fork the coin? Didn't have much of a choice. I wanted to get the spork key primarily off of the old chain because I don't know who had the spork beyond Marius, and the spork controls a lot of the coin's functionality, and it's dangerous to not have control of the spork when you're trying to fork a coin. I tried to soft fork it in there, and by all practical purposes it should have worked, but clearly it didn't. You can go back to the old chain if you want, I guess. It doesn't exist anymore, or at least no mining pools are supporting it, so have fun. Also, Trade Ogre, have fun. What happened to all the exchanges is a great follow-up question to that. They went offline. Eggs was a clear insolvency issue that had a lot to do with a USDT exploit that many small exchanges fell victim to. I don't remember whether it was with USDT explicitly or the coding that the exchanges run, as in to run the exchange itself. Not entirely sure. But it definitely leads up into the follow-up question. What happened to the Bitoreum exchange explicitly? Same basic problem, only that's a two-split problem. For one, it also suffered that same hack. and exposed the USDT wallet and the Tron wallet to a larger scale, draining the wallet out of a lot of funds. But that was after Marius up and disappeared, which is very strange. So the two takes that you can take on that is that it too suffered the same attack and that somebody stole the USDT, or Marius or somebody who had access to that wallet drained the USDT and the Tron funds after he disappeared. Both are equally as likely. Personally, I don't think that Marius would have taken it, but I don't know who all had access to the exchange's code after he disappeared. So the point is that it leads me to believe that the same exploit that was used on other exchanges was also Bitoreum's exchange's downfall. Only the added problem with that too is that he only paid for the domains for X amount of time and the hardware was running on them. So when the domain bill came due and obviously his funding source disappeared, the domains went with it. As many of you knew, I tried to reclaim the domain name, didn't work. But that's effectively what happened and what kicked off this whole thing. Next question. You don't publish an email. How the fuck am I supposed to write in? That's a good question. Many of you get a hold of me on Discord, which is probably the main social media, air quotes, tool that I use. Obviously, you can write in on YouTube, both in the live chat and then the comments later. I do read them. Most of them are either nonsensical or like one little quib things that don't actually need a reply. So I don't reply to a lot of them. But if you have like a serious question, concern, you want to get involved with the monthly Get Down promotion, YouTube's a great way to do it. Twitter's a great way to do it. Blue Sky's a great way to do it. Joining our Discord server and posting shit in there, even if it's shit talking, is a great way to do it. Those are the ones I monitor regularly. I do have a tool that kind of scrapes keywords off of many other social media platforms. That's how I've been kind of watching this promo. And to that regard, none of you fucking participated this month. And I'm going to yuck that up to bad promotion. And it's just summer. It's the last of the summer months. Many of you are on holiday, and I get that. But in the future, I would like to see more involvement. We're giving away Bitoreum. What's not to love about that? And why am I not active on more regular platforms like Twitter, things like that? I hate Twitter. Twitter is a necessary evil. Places like CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, TradeOgre, when they were still active, pretty much demanded that Twitter be used because that was the communications channel that they preferred. So it was a necessary evil that I joined Twitter, but I've never really liked Twitter. Right about the time of the pandemic, it just got flooded with alt-right and then political shit. Don't get me wrong, I love political shit to an extent when I'm in the mood for it, but every day, nonstop, and then getting pinged by 1,000 Andrew Tate fans because I said he looks like a chode. That wasn't exactly enjoyable, and it just was irritating more than anything. So I basically just stopped using Twitter for anything that is not a professional reason. And since CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, and at the time TradeOgre pretty much demanded it, that's why Crystal Bitoreum joined Twitter again. For Blue Sky, there's like a handful of trans developers that are friends of mine on there that I talk regular shit with because they are hilarious, and I'm pretty sure the originator of the Arch Linux is a pathway to becoming a femboy meme that is just it's hilarious. Anyway, I'm somewhat active on there when I get involved with either the trans developers I know there, but I also know 2 trans people that started off as adult entertainers and have moved into more of like a professional singing career that were comedians there for a time too, that I had the awesome experience of meeting down in Australia a couple years ago. And that's mostly what I use for over there. And I do post out like official Crystal Bitoreum notices on there as well. But the reality is that outside of like Discord, and I really fail to call Discord a social media platform, but it kind of is. That's probably where I'm most active on. I'm just not really that big into social media. My day job requires me to talk to hundreds, if not thousands of people a day or a week. And at some point, I just don't want to talk to people anymore. Even from my social media platform's perspective, when you're in sales, you talk a lot. And towards the end of the day, there's like 5 people that I want to talk to on a regular basis. And if you're not one of those 5 people in general, you can fuck off. Um, that's not to say that if you have a question or concern specifically about the project, please, by all means, bring them to me 24 hours a day. I might not be able to address them right there, but that's my job, is to address those problems. What I'm saying is from a social media perspective, I don't really don't want to talk to people. Like, hell, even if you try to call me, for those of, actually, I don't think there's anybody online that actually knows what my phone number is, but for those of you that are blessed to know my phone number, there's probably about maybe 100 of you that have my personal phone line. There's about 4 of you I would actually pick up the phone for, to be perfectly fucking honest. The rest of you can send me a text. I'll get to it when I get to it. That's how much I don't really want to talk to people anymore. I've gotten to that age in my life, and it's kind of funny saying, because I do these weekly broadcasts, this is a little bit different, and this is nice, and this is fun, and this is in a time controlled setting because I try to keep these things to 20 minutes or less. That is a very specific use case. And in general, I like talking shit on my Discord server or in some of the other ones that I'm a member of because we have fun there. At least we try to. If it gets to be, there are times that even I've crossed the line in making it a little bit too serious for the particular server for various channels. And then, I back off and I disappear for a couple days and come back and it's all good. But in general, in my real life, I fucking hate talking to people. My ideal holiday is one of 3 scenarios. Locking myself in my room, more or less with my dog, enough food and water and access to the bathroom for like a week and having the world fuck off while I read books. Or 2, going to the beach and effectively doing the same thing, only I will have a caveat. I always try to get one that's a porch view of the ocean. But more or less, I don't want to talk to people either. So, ocean view, book, even if it's a technical manual, probably a drink in hand. That is my kind of goal. Third kind of vacation scenario is to go to a casino. Casinos are kind of interesting in the sense that, like, there's hundreds, if not thousands, if not tens or hundreds of thousands of people all packed in together with you. But because of the nature of a casino, you don't really talk or interact with other people unless you're playing a game like poker or roulette or to some degree blackjack. Like if you're sitting there playing slots or some other dumb game like that, everybody will just do their best to like not really even make eye contact with you, especially if you're winning or losing bad. Like if you're right in the middle where you win a couple bucks here and there, they might be a little more apt. But if you're winning big, oh god, they hate you. They don't want anything to fucking do with you. And if you're losing bad, they don't want to talk to you because they're afraid of like that bad luck rubbing off on you, which statistically not a thing. But I will go to a casino for the same reason because while you are around people, you are still very isolated and you're not talking to people. And I have definitely reached that age where y'all can get the fuck off my land. All right. One more question. Are there any plans to add social media platforms onto the list? Yes. And I kind of did. I added Medium very recently as a way to put out press releases, and I will start putting those out on an as needed basis and then going to be doing a monthly recap. That should be out either tomorrow or more likely Tuesday because tomorrow is a holiday. Happy Labor Day to those of you in the US. I would like to have it out by the first of the month, and that basically is just a recap to what we've done in the prior months. This one will be June, July, and August because I just didn't think to do this in the past, so it'll kind of cover what we've done over those 3 months. But in general, that is a new one. And the other one I'm possibly looking at in the future is Kick. Excuse me. And the only reason why Kick, I want to be very upfront with this, is that I kind of wanted to do cryptocurrency gambling. And out of all of the social media platforms, primarily those that deal with streaming, that seemed to be the only one that was more or less friendly with gambling as long as you do it on valid sites. Excuse me. Oh, man. Ooh, this thing has got me very burpy. Anyway, I wanted to get back into Bravada. That's what I used to use. And Seals with Clubs, which is a Bitcoin poker hall, which is hilariously awesome. That community was so damn toxic back in the day. I haven't played on there in forever. Bravada is pretty nice. Doesn't offer much in the way of chat, but it has everything from low stakes to high stakes. So I could do something like, oh, let's take $40 and let's go donk it off on sit and goes and try to turn $40, go big or go home. So like, I don't know, bring it up to like 100, 150 or just donk it off and lose it all. Those are kind of the two immediate platforms. Oh, and as a note for an exchange, it's a question I do get. Had to do with something I posted on Discord. I am in the process of looking to add another exchange. Right now, we are highly reliant on XBitron. I don't particularly like that as being the only one. I love the guys over at XBitron. They've been amazing and super supportive of this fork, and I appreciate that. But what I mean is that I don't like relying on a single exchange. I kind of like having at least two, ideally three. But the next exchange I pick has to be compliant with CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap, because getting on CoinMarketCap is one of the things I would like to have settled by next year. And in order to do that, there's certain requirements and certain kind of exchanges. And I found one that is low to no KYC, supports US markets, which is a huge fucking problem with exchanges right now. Works with CoinMarketCap, works with CoinGecko, and out of all of those, there is a clear winner in that, and I will announce it when the time is right. The biggest problem is that I think the lowest buy-in for us to get listed there is about $2,500 USD as a one-time payment. For those of you that don't know, I am funding this project completely out of pocket. I was not the owner of the dev fee, and I do not have those funds. Not to say that Bitoreum is worth a whole hell of a lot of money anyway, but I do plan to change that by getting it on more marketplaces and launching smart.com as a cryptocurrency only retail establishment. But the biggest problem is that coming up with $2,500 this late in the year is a budgetary constraint, because basically I have to take it from the Nikovash Empire, who's already had their budget meetings and budget forecasting done for the year this time last year. The reality is that exchange, I would like to say that I could have it done by December, but it's probably going to be quarter 1 of next year when I do the budget for Nikovash Empire, and having to shuffle around $2,500 as a basically a net loss to the business in terms of getting it on an exchange. And I know that that's the cost of business for doing exchanges, but it's also the cost of business when you run an actual company that has to be accountable for their budgetary shortfalls. So that's the biggest reason why we're not on more exchanges. I know a lot of people wanted me to join on NestX, and that will probably be the third exchange that I look at. I want this other one first. And the biggest reason for NestX is it's infinitely cheaper. I think even without their promo, it's like, oh, $500, $600 USDT is a one-time fee, which is perfectly tolerable. Like, I probably have that in snacks and beverages account that I have, which is like a personal account that I just buy snacks and beverages out of when I'm at work or whatever. I could probably do that one just out of there without having to justify it to the company, but $2,500 definitely broaches that. So that's kind of what I want to do is target that one as the next one, and then the other one after that. Okay, that wraps up all the questions that I have so far. In the future, if you have questions and concerns that you want answered at the end of this month when we do these prize announcements, go ahead and get at me on YouTube, Medium, Blue Sky, Twitter, GitHub, Discord. I do monitor all those regularly. If you can find where my email address is, bully for you. Go ahead and send me an email there, but I'm not ever going to announce it. Uh, and even if you do make it public, I don't really care. It's fun for me to say fuck you. But anyway, go ahead and write in your letters. I will answer them. Sometimes these ones are actually all pretty good. There were a couple that I reread today, and I'm like, these are a bit too risque, because like these people went off on me, and they were funny to me, but used some language that might actually get me in trouble with YouTube. So I kind of held off. I will wind up editing those and probably put one of them out next month. It was so fucking funny. I'm not even gonna lie, but it's like, they went off. They ripped me a new one, or at least they think they did. And you know what? By all means, go for it. But yeah, that's the thing, is you can write in any questions, concerns, grievances. I will read them at the end of every month. I think they're pretty damn funny. Some of them are blaming me for shit that I had nothing to do with, and this was just carryover from the old code or the old team. There's definitely some resurgence of the old beef between Raptorium and Bitoreum, with the Raptorium guys not really understanding that I don't really share anything in common with Marius, and outside of Bitoreum being a clean, ripoff of Raptorium, at least what it was. Yeah, we're fundamentally different now. Our code base has slightly shifted, and as we go on further, I have made it very clear that I want to remove more and more of Raptorium's code and pin it back over to Dash because I think it just works better for what I want. Raptorium works great. Go off, you guys. Do you. I have no problem with you. But the things that you've done, I have no interest in for this project. So if that's the case, get rid of the code. Make it run more like Dash. Anyway, folks, we're going to jump into the last bit of it. I had written down... yes. Here are this month's winners. These were picked from our Discord server because A, none of you actually got on social media with the hashtag GetDown or Bitoreum GetDown or some combination thereof. I have been the only one on the major social media platforms using the term Bitoreum for obvious reasons, so I have picked 4 winners from our Discord server. And the drum roll, please. Passenger 57, you are the grand winner of 1 million Bitoreum. Till Dawn, you are the next winner of 1 million. There will be one more $1 million winner, and then the top prize is 2 million Bitoreum winner. So the last 1 million Bitoreum winner for the month of August 2025, Setven. And then the big grand prize winner for this month, Ondolf. I hope I'm saying that right. Ondolf? Yes. Anyway, it will be posted in the Discord server shortly after the broadcast. I look forward to seeing you all next week. That will be the official, weekly announcement, or I'm sorry, monthly announcements for the project of Bitoreum. Following that, the week after that, remember, is an off week because we no longer broadcast on the second week of the month anymore. Look forward to seeing you all next week. You have a great rest of your day. For those of you in the US, enjoy the holiday. Love.